Okay, good morning, friends. Welcome to Moxie Gardens. Today will be kind of part two of the greenhouse. So if you missed that video, the original one, we kind of plotted out what we were going to do right over here. It's a little long-winded, but I like to give you guys the general idea of what we're working on, answer as many questions that we know that might come up. So that being said, we're going to run to Home Depot this morning and start getting the lumber to work our way up. I still need to go and get windows off of the marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. So that's one of the things. But I wanted to get out here early enough this morning to kind of share with you a better view, because last night when I finished moving all the stone in, or the crushed rock, the sun was pretty much setting. So we'll get a better view of what we're working on. Last night was our lowest night, temperature-wise, of the season. 49 degrees, 47 I believe. So I have to verify that was forecasted. It's very chilly this morning, but it was nice to sleep with the windows open, so that's good. Okay, so right now we've got a good foundation. I'll come back and I'll level this. If you remember, we put down two different stones, one base layer that is the heavier stuff, and then you saw that I tamped it down, got a good solid base. And then we went back with this leveling stone or crushed rock. So basically I'm gonna take a 2x4 that'll run lengthwise, and we'll just push it from here towards the fence, kind of level it out. That'll give me a good level base to start the rest of the structure. I know there's so many variables on building greenhouses. There's really, the only thing you really need is to make sure that you have ventilation and basically some sunlight. So that's why I wanted to start right here. The sun, you can see the shadow lines coming right through here, the sunlight. So we're gonna have great morning sun. That's the east, so the morning sun comes up that way. And then we'll have some afternoon sun, early afternoon, and then all the trees above us, as you can see, it's gonna do a great job of keeping the sun off of this from cooking in the evening time, even I'd say after 1 o'clock. So basically we're gonna have about 5 to 6 hours of sunlight, direct sunlight on this, and then some dappled, and then it moves into complete shade. And that's kind of how it's just gonna work out. We'll have some vents, we'll have some heat, we'll have the windows where they open, but we're gonna work with a little bit of a tight budget. I don't like the idea of the cookie cutter gardens and doing things the way everyone does it, because it's fun to be unique. It's fun to be a little bit different, and I enjoy seeing all varieties of gardens and greenhouses and that type of stuff. I appreciate the ones that just have simple plastic right over the top. If you're one of those ones that just has kind of a plastic base, I appreciate those. Those seem fun and seem simple and very, very efficient. And low cost. I appreciate that. And then of course I appreciate the ones that are just glorious. Glorious doesn't work in this garden. So we're gonna keep this pretty simple, except for the front side, the facade, the money maker, the idea that whatever we do on the front side is gonna really just pull the garden in on the front side. Again, go back and look at the videos. I don't want to be redundant, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna go through Facebook Marketplace, and I need to get the windows because I need to frame this out. So I may end up framing a lot of it out and then have to come back and put in the spacers for windows and whatnot if I don't find those today. But we're gonna get started. So we're gonna run to Home Depot and pick up some lumber, and we're gonna start, we'll come back, level this out, and then we'll call it good. I can see the neighbor's cat has already been in there, so let's get started. Okay, friends, we're at a good stopping point. I think we made some good progress. Spent some time at Home Depot just kind of looking around. I've been debating whether I wanted to do the hard plastic over the whole thing, you know, with the kind of rippled effect to it of those little sheets, or if I wanted to do windows off of the marketplace. So I've been researching like crazy. I typically have this all done prior to kind of getting into the project itself, but I've been having a hard time making up my mind. But anyway, we can kind of look over this, what we've got done so far. So this is the doorway. We're gonna pretend, if you can use your imagination, we're gonna pretend that what you see right here, you may not see when it's complete. So we will use the door, obviously, but like I said, we're gonna go with a whole different theme. And so this front side has to just be really remarkable. I don't want it to even look like a greenhouse on the front side. That's why we talk about bungalow and cottage and all that, like medieval. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna mix and match and see what we can do there. I'm thinking maybe even a fireplace, faux fireplace. We'll figure out something. I've got a few things. I just haven't determined what I wanted to do completely. And then you'll see the roof just kind of sitting up there. All that is on the rooftop, that's not the lay of the roof. I just got those boards up off of the soil and out of the garage. Then right here, typically, I would already have this framed. Again, we're gonna go back to the whole idea that I haven't made my decision on what windows. So typically when you build a wall, you'd wanna build the wall prior, lift it all up at once. Everybody has a different style of doing it, but typically I would have the wall already built and then stand each wall up, giving you 4 walls, and then it's complete. So I'll have to do some rearranging, but the wall is pretty much set. But I really want this to be, this lower part to be solid. Kind of help keep the temperature up in the winter time, early fall, early spring, that type of thing. So I thought that might help my temperature, hold the temperature a little bit more. And I really like that look, almost kind of like our little shed right here. See how the bottom has a solid piece? And I've thought about even taking the windows out of this and repurposing the garage facing, or the shed facing right there, and taking those windows and putting it over here. But I've had this for so long that I actually think that it won't feel like new to me. So, and then we've got the 2 wheelbarrows. This is everything I have left over. And I have that for the flat surface in there. That will all be brick. Like I said, this will be a doorway. I'm hoping that, well, I can just kind of walk in here. It'll be a little lumpy on the camera. But when we come in here, if you can imagine, there should be a window here. I'm thinking a sink right here. Will not be running water or anything. We'll use a water hose, kind of let the water flow out the back so it would drain out there. But we can give the little monster her baths in the summertime and let her play. She really does tear up stuff, like when she gets into the dirt and the mud and stuff. Just rinse her off out here, and I think it'll be fun. And then I'm thinking right here we'll have a couple benches, not sitting benches but work benches. And then along here, depending on our windows, we should have some shelves and stuff, and we'll do a lot of annuals. I'll get a lot of annuals, coleus, and all different things that we'll start planting up. And this will not only allow me to kind of learn the process of growing things in a greenhouse, but also too, I'll be able to bring you guys more videos. We know early spring, when this thing starts waking up and we get to the cleaning phase, it's a little bit hard to keep your attention because everything's just dull. Some of you like to see the landscape in its dull stage. Leaves, everything's gone. It's pretty dormant. So it's hard to keep your imagination as well. It's hard for me to bring a good cleanup video. So these will be things that we can maybe carry this channel further into our winter months. Here in the Midwest, it's just ugly. If I was in the, the east or west or, southern coast, it's a lot easier because the temperature stays up a little bit. We'll get into minus temps here at some point. But little Hey Hey has told me that she likes what we're doing here. So like I said, this front part is going to be spectacular. And then if we come back here, remember I talked about our neighbors and the dogs and us seeing them, but now you can kind of see a glimpse. You can start to see where we're going to kind of block off our neighbors a little bit and kind of romance this area. And we'll come over here. Like I said, I'm probably going to bring out the wall a little bit further. It's just going to be faux. It's going to be fake imitation. But then we start looking at the trees, and this just really, really pulls it all together. And it just looks like almost like this greenhouse was built some time ago and the trees started to come up around it and kind of it got lost. And that's what we're doing here in the garden. You can see we got tons of things going on, and it's such a small space, but it still doesn't seem busy. Right now, we've got a little bit of a mess, and so that's why it kind of looks a little more than what I want it to look like. But I think all in all, this is coming together real well. Again, we will be off for probably until next weekend, because by the time I get home, the sun is down almost. So we'll see how many videos we can bring to you guys as the season continues to get shorter days. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave us a comment. What would you do differently? What are some things that you're doing with a greenhouse that you might imagine or whatever? And you can shoot those over to us. I can't wait to do the floor in there and get those all done. It should go up pretty fast. It just got to figure out the window situation. Anyway, we will see you friends on the flip side. Bye-bye now.